Welcome to another episode of the House Huddle Podcast. Here are your hosts, Rob Schwarz and Justin Miami, two Bears fans who decided talking into a microphone was better than shouting at their television.
Welcome to another episode of the House Huddle Podcast. This episode is going to be a Fields-focused short. I apologize that it's gotten, again, delayed getting this out for you guys, but it's just been a crazy, hectic week. Tried to get it out yesterday, and for some reason, the software that we use to do our recordings, their app just is not working, and I was unable to record from my phone. I was going to do it at my office. Just didn't work out. So I did get through the all-22 film, though, and assigned my grade for Justin Fields versus the Miami Dolphins. I got to say I was a little shocked, to be honest. I thought that the grade was actually going to be higher than what it was, just based on my fan reaction of watching the game and some of the memorable moments that had taken place. But it really wasn't. It's not that it was bad. In fact, let me just get it out of the way here. This was Justin Fields' first elite game since I've been tracking his performance and using my grading scale. Okay, so for me, it was his best game of the season. And he reached elite scoring. Okay, he reached an elite grade based on my grading scale. My grading scale is anything 85 and up is elite, and Justin Fields hit that 85 mark. Now, I was surprised because last week, week 8, the prior week versus the Cowboys when they lost by 20 points, Justin Fields had reached a score of 84 for me. Okay, now let's just kind of get a quick stat comparison between these two games. So versus the Cowboys, he threw for 151 yards. Versus the Dolphins, he threw for 123. Rushing yards, he had 60 versus the Cowboys, 178 versus the Dolphins. All right, so he had a total combined yardage of 211 yards versus the Cowboys and 301 versus the Dolphins. Right there, kind of shows, hey, I thought for sure it would be better than a 1-point difference. Versus the Cowboys, he had 3 total touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing. And then in week 9 versus the Dolphins, he had 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing, so a total of 4. Completion percentage, he was much better versus the Cowboys, 73.9%. And he just got above that threshold that I like to see. 60% or better, in my opinion, is what you need to be at. The better quarterbacks are typically 62 to 64% or higher. And versus the Dolphins, he came in at 60.71. All right. Again, I thought it was going to be a little bit different. Now, just from some other comparisons that I saw in this game, I counted 9 design runs, but only 2 drops. The last one by Equinemius St. Brown being probably the worst. Hit him right in the hands on 4th down, would have given him the first down to try and continue to drive down the field. This was the play after the infamous Chase Claypool non-pass interference call. Okay, pretty much was the play that ended the game. Then the Dolphins kneeled down and it was over. So it was, again, I'm excited. All right, I'm very excited. Don't take my shock as like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, what, you were so positive, 1 week, and now you're thinking that it's not as good. Part of it, though, is the expectation level is getting a little higher. It doesn't affect the grading scale. Okay, it does not affect the grading scale, but my expectations have gotten a little higher. Let's just take a look at it. So I had 3 double positive plays. All right, 3 double positive plays. One of them was the fake handoff. That was that naked rollout that ended up being the pass to Kmet, and then Kmet scored a 19-yard touchdown. Was able to get the seal block there by Equanimeous St. Brown on the sideline. The fake handoff, that right there was elite. All right. His ability, his fake handoffs have just like drastically improved over the last few weeks. The way that he hides the ball, the way that he just trusts that he can turn his back to the line of scrimmage. That's what happened on this play. Felt a little bit of pressure after one guy bit, but didn't bite enough. But it was too late, because if you watch the inside linebackers, they all drove downhill to attack the run. And that's pretty much what freed Kmet up. Beautiful play. Beautiful play. The touchdown throw to Darnell Mooney was another one. Where he put that ball, the placement that he had on that was just absolutely fantastic. Not every quarterback can make that throw. And then, of course, the 61-yard touchdown run. Okay, first of all, that was not a design run. And if you watch Justin Fields' eyes, he is getting ready to throw the ball. That was not a fake pump fake. Like, it was not a pump fake to try to get the defender so he can try to run for more yards. He wanted to throw that ball. At the last minute, decided that wasn't the right decision. I can get more yards by running. Had he thrown it, he probably still would have completed like a 20-yard pass. Okay? That play, though, was just like, Michael Vick-esque. That's kind of what it reminded me of. Or even, Lamar Jackson would be another close second to that. So, great throws, great runs by Justin Fields, just an overall great game. I only had a couple negative plays for him. There was the overthrow of Kmet on the seam route, just not a great throw. There was a corner route to Equanimeous St. Brown. It was the play right before the punt block. Again, just kind of another bad throw. Wasn't a great route. The guy, ESB wasn't completely open, but could have been a little bit better of a throw. And again, I'm getting nitpicky here. There was a play where they had tripped wide receivers to the left, and Justin Fields tries to get a little wide receiver screen. I'm blanking on who the receiver was. I think it might have been Claypool. And then you had ESB and probably Mooney over there with him, and just sails it over top. He had a defender there. We've seen enough times where the defenders are jumping, blocking balls down. Probably could have happened had he not sailed it. So I'm not like overly upset about it. And you was not in a position to do his little sidearm angle like he had done over the last couple of weeks. So again, just getting nitpicky. Just a couple things that he needs to work on. There was a slant to Equanimeous St. Brown, and these aren't all negative plays to the point where I'm marking them negative. There was a slant to Equanimeous St. Brown where kind of holds on to it a little bit too long and then has to throw it inside and low so that ESB, or I'm sorry, not ESB, it was Chase Claypool doing a slant. So that Claypool is, in a position that only Claypool can make the catch. Had he gotten out a little bit faster, he might not have had to throw it to that point. That point where he threw it was, again, so that no one else could get the ball. So just a few little minor things that he can work on to clean up. I'm going to break a little bit of that down in one of my articles coming up at Bear Goggles On. Just, ways that Justin Fields can actually improve upon what he's already been doing. But here's the thing, guys. I'm going to end this a little bit short for the field focus for this game because again, it's getting out a little bit late, so I wanted to do more of a comparison. I did this for Bear Goggles On in an article, but I looked at his stats over the last 5 weeks. Okay, here's where he is averaging for stats: 170 passing yards a game. I know that's low compared to what people want to see. Okay, we want to see 250, 300 yards per game. We want to see the Justin Herbert stat line, right? But he's also adding another 91 rushing yards per game. Now, last week inflated that a little bit with the 178, but let's just go game by game. He went 47 yards in week 5, 88 in week 6, 82 in week 7, okay? 60 in week 8. He's averaging 91 rushing yards over those last 5 weeks. He's averaging a total of 261 yards per week, per game. Okay, 261 total yards per game. That's perfectly acceptable for a guy who's going to run the ball more than your, Justin Herbert, who stands in the pocket. Over these 5 weeks, he has 8 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns. Okay, passing touchdowns. He has 3 rushing touchdowns on top of it. He has 11 total touchdowns over the last 5 weeks. And only 2 interceptions. 11 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. His completion percentage is at almost 64%, 63.96 over those 5 weeks. And his quarterback rating is just over 100. Things are slowing down for Justin Fields. This is great news for Bears fans. This is great news for the organization. But here's what's even more fun. Okay? Justin Fields compared to Aaron Rodgers over the last 5 weeks. All right, Justin Fields' total yards per game, 261. Aaron Rodgers' total yards per game, 241. Justin Fields' touchdowns passing, 8. Aaron Rodgers' touchdowns passing, 8. Equal. Aaron Rodgers' rushing touchdowns, 0. Justin Fields has 3. So we're looking at 11-8. Justin Fields is on top again. Okay? Now let's look at the completion percentage, which is something I'm big on because, and I know receivers drop the ball. The talent level's not great. The talent level's not great in Green Bay either when it comes to receivers. 62% for Aaron Rodgers over the last 5 weeks. Remember, Justin Fields, 63.96, almost 64%. Justin Fields is throwing 2 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers is throwing 4. Aaron Rodgers is on pace to throw as many interceptions as he did his rookie season. That was the most, I'm sorry, not his rookie season. The first season that he started. Okay? He had 13 interceptions that year. That's the most he's ever thrown in his career in a season. Okay, he's on pace to hit that again. Justin Fields' quarterback rating, 100.42 over the last 5 weeks. Aaron Rodgers, 85.66. And we're not talking like, oh, Aaron Rodgers has played against better competition than Justin Fields has played, right? All right? Okay? They both played against Washington. Chicago's played against Minnesota. Who's lost 1 game, right? They played against the Cowboys, who have 6 wins. The Dolphins, who have 6 wins. Okay? Green Bay has faced both New York teams, who are shockingly doing well. Both have 6 wins apiece. And played against Buffalo. All right? But they also played against the Detroit Lions, too. All right? Green Bay has lost all 5 of these games. Chicago, not much better to speak of. They've been 1-4. Okay, but the combined records of the teams that the Bears have faced, 28-15. The combined records that the Green Bay Packers have faced, 24-18. So again, it's not like Chicago's playing against weaker opponents. It's not like we can sit here and say, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers has struggled because he's playing against great defenses and these strong opponents. No, that's not the case. It's not the case. It's pretty equal. In fact, I'd give a little bit of a nudge to Justin Fields on who he's had to play. So, again, this is great news for Chicago. It's great news for Chicago fans to see Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers suffering. But I'm not going to sit here and just, be happy about their failures. I want to continue to see success for the Chicago Bears. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing growth. We're seeing development. Okay? I got to give a nod to Luke Getsy. They're not playing they're not running these elaborate routes and the scheme is great. It's good, but it's not over the top craziness. But what's fantastic about it is I don't even know how to describe it. It's like watching an adult versus a child when it comes to Luke Getsy and what they're putting forward versus what we saw with Matt Nagy. You're not seeing guys short of the sticks. You're not seeing guys running into the same areas in zone or even man coverage, where the ball is thrown and you don't even know which receiver is supposed to be getting it. It's been fantastic to see this. We have a long way to go before we're going to see this team really amount to what I think it can amount to. But 2023, I cannot picture Justin Fields regressing to anything below what I imagined him to be or below what he's been lately. And like I said, this was his first elite performance. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more to come. Might even happen this week against the Detroit Lions. Not a very good football team, who just beat Green Bay last week 15-9. I said I wasn't going to revel in it, but I'm going to sit here and it's going to be a really good comparison because now we're going to see what Justin Fields can do against the same exact team that we just saw the Green Bay Packers struggle with, right? All right. That's all I got. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, whatever you're listening to. Make sure to leave some comments, leave some reviews, guys. Comments and reviews, please. That's really what drives us, really what drives our performance, helps us get better at what we need to be doing. Let us know of some suggestions that you want to hear from us, maybe some things that we can do or you aren't hearing from other Bears podcasts you want us to look into. All right, that's what we're here for. To try and, fill that middle void of the every day that you're going to hear on the radio, right? That's all I got. Bear down. Until next time, go Bears.